A very warm welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mawani. I hope you all are doing good. The date today is 9th October. Let's see what we have got in the Hindu today. But before moving ahead, please allow me to introduce all of you to our pen drive and tablet courses. For different exams like SSC, Bank, UPSC and other government exams, StudyIQ offers pen drive and tablet courses. The good thing about them is that they are prepared by the best faculties of our country, and the quality that you are going to get in this pen drive and tablet courses is going to be of top of the range. So if you haven't got it yet, I would recommend all of you to get it as soon as possible. If you have any further queries, you can feel free to give us a call on this number, or you can check out studyiq.com as well. Now let's see what we have got in the first editorial. Today we have a sort of bit of balance between editorial and articles and news items. Today we have 3 important articles, or you can say 1 editorial and 2 articles, and we have lots of news items as well, very important news items. So let's quickly jump onto it. The first one is pertaining to GST. Now it starts with some basic details about it, and this is the 3rd day, if you remember, and this is also an indication that the news item which we select, which we discuss on this platform, you might have observed this thing that most of the time it turns out to be a sort of in future you find, in near future, after 1 or 2 days, we find these items that we discuss in the news form, they come as editorial. So that indicates that what we are discussing here is important, because what editorial is all about is newspaper will find out, or as per the newspaper, the whole nation is impacted, or you can say that the whole nation is worried about one particular topic. That's why they address any particular thing in, or they add that particular topic as their editorial comment. So GST, we have been talking about this thing from last 2 days, Saturday and yesterday as well, that is on Sunday we discussed about this thing. So basic things, you know that GST is GST has a sort of GST council that is empowered to oversee all the implementation work, and constitution amendment was made. It was launched on July 1st July, and things like that, right? So these are the basic things we know about GST, and we also know that we have also discussed that there are some technical issues going on with GST network, isn't it? And because of this, there was a sort of problem, right? All the businessmen, particularly the exporters, were facing huge amount of problems. So to address these things, GST, of course, GST Council has decided to sort it out, and it has came out with some plans, right? It has given some exemptions, like say for example, the council has lowered the rate on 27 items, and textile industry has benefited a lot out of this move of reduction, because see, textile industry is also known as bulkwear of jobs, because it recruits, or many people are engaged in textile industry. When you have like top 5 list, then you will find top 5 employer, or you say employment generating industry, then textile industry is there on this top 5. You have other industries as well, like infrastructure and other one, but textile is a very important industry, and when there is a sort of reduction in price, then it will give a sort of kick. So it's a good move. The other thing is that it has also sorted out, it has made a bit easier, it had this move of reduction, or you can say that a company or a business having a turnover of 1.5 crore rupees per year, rather than filing their GST return on every month or on monthly basis, they have to file it on quarterly basis now. So that would be a sort of reduction in burden, you can say. So this is a good move again. Then composition scheme. Composition scheme basically means that if your business per year annual turnover is 1 crore rupees or less, then you pay a flat and a low tax. So this is again a good thing. And 6 months suspension for exporters, because we know that exporters were facing issues because their refund, they were not able to claim the refund, or the refund was not coming back to them. That means working capital was blocked, and this was impacting their business. And all the moves, all the decisions taken by this GST Council has been referred, as Prime Minister has said, that it is an onset of early Deepavali season. So the Prime Minister has related this thing, and the good thing is that, see, Diwali season is always we have talked about this thing, and you know it very well that our country is, or our economy is, festival driven economy. So every time you have a festival, a bigger one like Diwali, Christmas or Eid, then there is a demand of, or the consumption goes up, isn't it? People are buying gift and new clothes and other things, they go out to eat, etc., etc. So this brings itself, this festival brings a sort of demand, and if this necessary changes are done before this festival, then it will help businessmen, it will help common people as well, because they have to pay less tax, and this would be beneficial for the whole economy. So of course we can say that it is an early Deepavali, because this is the time when people would be doing all their shopping. There are other gray areas. Gray areas means the areas that are not clearly defined, like one is e-way bill, how it is going to impact this interstate sort of transactions, and how it is going to do that. We need more clarification from the government from this side, but hopefully it will come out with some clarification, and we'll come to know about more about this e-bill. And there is again one thing at present, though, suspense persists on the operationalization of GST law on laws anti-profiteering. What is anti-profiteering? Basically, when after the coming of GST, we know that cascading effect, that means tax on tax has gone. So of course the prices will come down, because the tax on tax will eventually increase the overall price of that product or service. But now if it is coming down, then rather than bringing the price down in terms of the real tax, there could be many companies who would not reduce their prices, and with this they would be making more profit. So to ensure this, to eliminate this practice, it is all called, this is called anti-profiteering, right? So they have to reduce it. So again, this is not that much clear, but again we have to wait and watch for these two things. So hopefully government will address this gray area in near future, isn't it? And there are other benefits, and this is happening as well, like wider tax net or tax base. You can say that tax base has widened, and as it widens, government, as promised, it will reduce the tax rate as well. So moving on to another item, this is about IndiaEU. Now we know that there was a summit between India and European Union. This is European Union here. You can see this is the official symbol, or you can say the flag of European Union. And the other thing is that, see, remember at present as well, there are 27 countries, beg your pardon, 28 countries in European Union. We know that Brexit is a process that is going on, and it will take some time as well, but still at present there are 28 countries. So remember this thing. And we have talked about the basic pillars, you know, the basic pillars of European Union. So I'm not going into those details, as I am sure that most of you are regular followers and you know about this thing. For the new followers, I would like to say that just go back to a couple of slides, go back to a couple of dates, and you will find this lecture, English lecture on this thing, on this European Union. So if you want, I can give you a specific date. It is 17th of September, right? 17th September. If you go to that lecture, then you will find basic things regarding European Union. Now this BTIA, that is Broad-Based Trade and Investment Agreement, that was one of the core thing that the core thing in this discussion, or in this summit, 14th India-EU summit that was held in India on 6th of October. And this was the core, you can say, one of the most important thing that was discussed. But still we haven't seen any sort of progress in this thing, and there are many reasons behind it as well. There are many reasons, but the good thing is that both these parties are talking with each other. That is the main thing. They are engaging with each other, they are cordial with each other. And once you have this sort of discussion going on between two countries, or you can say two parties here, if I say two countries, I'm not referring to any particular country. What I'm trying to say is that European Union and India, so both these parties are interacting with each other, which is a very healthy sign. The other thing is that many things have changed since 2016. We have seen Brexit. We know Brexit is all about this Britain or UK, United Kingdom, stepping out of this European Union. So once this process is over, EU will have only 27 members, and after that there was a wave of other countries as well, right? There was a wave of stepping out of European Union after this Brexit and Donald Trump, and it was in Belgium, right? I beg your pardon, not Belgium, but it was in Netherlands. There were election in Netherlands, and there was a wave that the party who is going to, at that point of time, there was a demand that the person who was going to hopefully, or it was presumed that person A, if he will come to power, if he or she will come to power, then they will start this sort of European Union exit process. But thankfully nothing like that happened. Again, in France as well, there was a sort of a little bit of demand was there, but again there is nothing like that. We have Macron now, Mr. Macron, who is looking after France very well. And there are other important things like Germany election recently took place. Then there is always this is a long going process, the issue between the Western European Union countries and Eastern European Union countries. So here is your Poland and other countries. Now if you compare Poland, Romania, Bulgaria and other countries with UK, France, Germany, then we of course find that these are more powerful in terms of everything, in terms of money, in terms of their economy, in terms of their technology and everything. So there is always a bit of a clash between these two different zones within European Union. And Donald Trump came in, right? And we know very well, we have talked about this thing in a specific video lecture. Iran nuclear deal is available on StudyIQ. If you want to know more about it, feel free to do that. It is available in both Hindi and English. So Donald Trump, he recently said that he is not going to follow, or he may cancel this Iran nuclear deal. He also said that he is going to step out of this Paris climate change. Now we know that Paris climate change is not a thing that was decided by any particular country, but it was decided by the whole world. Again, Iran nuclear deal, of course you had this Germany was there in negotiation, France was there, and United Kingdom, this UK and France, they both are permanent member of United Council, and Germany was taken on board as well to discuss to conduct this whole deal with Iran. But now US is saying that it is going to step out of it, so it is a bit of worry as well. So this were the things going on in European Union, but now things are getting a little bit okay. But these two items, this one is still there, this Iran and Paris climate change, but rest of the items are ongoing, and that they are not that much they are not a thing that we should worry about. That much worry should not be, or you can say that much focus is not required on the other things, right? So another items is multipolarity, right? Both the nations have talked about. Now European Union has EU has said that both India and EU are world's largest democracy. They see themselves as one country, even though we know that this is a union of 28 countries. So of course when we take EU as a single country, then you can say that India, we know about India, we have 1.25 or 1.3 billion population. So of course we are the largest democracy in the world, and Europe also has a huge amount of population when we talk about this 28 countries. So roughly speaking, they are right. But the main reference here is of multipolarity. What is multipolarity? Multipolarity means you don't have any one single country who is running the whole world. Earlier it used to be a sort of bipolar world. You might have heard about this sort of terms called bipolar. That means bi means two. So you have two countries that are running the show, that used to run the show, you can say. One was USA and the other one was USSR. Now we know it as Russia. I'm not going into technical details of USSR and Russia, but on a bigger term you can say that it is more likely Russia. So this was the thing. Now today later on we saw the rise of China. We know India is also rising. It is also becoming stronger and stronger. European Union is getting stronger in the sense that it has managed to duck this wave of separatism. So these things are going on, and today any one country ruling the whole world, the days are gone now. Those days are gone, when giants like USA used to decide the whole, or decide the strategy, or they used to decide what should happen in the world. So that days are gone, and I'll give you a small example. Those days are also gone when a bigger country used to, you can say, exploit small nation, or you can say harass or dictate what they should do or not do. And the best example is India and Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, we know it's a very small country. If we keep a good friendship with them, then they are on our side. But it is now not possible that even if you are a big country, you cannot force Sri Lanka to do what you like, and that has been proven on many instances. Same thing applies to Cuba and USA. Cuba is a small country, USA is a very powerful country then as well. Cuba has never paid any sort of heed. So those days are gone now, and the world is more multipolar, and that's how it should be, right? Isn't it? It is basically like we have democracies in different countries, but on a global level you have autocracy. So this is something that is not acceptable to anyone. Terrorism is a thing that was discussed between both the parties. For India, we know India has been a victim of terrorism for the longest period of time, and EU as well. We have seen terrorist attack taking place in France, in Germany, taking place in UK. Then we also saw terrorist attack in Belgium, right, and other parts as well. Spain, there was a sort of bomb blast a couple of weeks ago. So it is worried about this thing, and both have decided to work with each other. Then talking about trade, we know that one of the biggest issue is that they want, right, European Union, they want us to allow us to sell their automobiles over here. German cars, and you have French cars like Renault and Citroën, and this BM, Audi and other cars. So they want India to remove all the duties that we apply on this thing so that they can be freely sold here. India, of course, we don't want to do that because we have our own issues. We want our automobile sector to grow up. We don't want our automobile sector to have a sort of disadvantage, because we know European cars are a bit better in quality when we compared with India built cars. And we want our people, we want free flow of people. We want our skilled or semi-skilled people to get visa. We don't want them to stay there forever, but what we are asking is that they should be allowed to have a job in your European Union. So this is an issue that is going on between both these parties, and there is a data security issue as well. Europe is very strong when it comes to protection of data, and may it be on a social networking site or any other platform. It is very sincere about it, and it is very serious about it as well. Recently it has slapped many social networking sites, and it has made new laws that has made the working of social networking site very you can say in line, because many a times we know that these things do happen, that social networking site, they share your data, and data is a sort of oil in today's world, right? Data is considered as an oil, because once they know who you are, what's your age, what you like, what you eat, etc., etc., based on that thing they can give you those sort of advertisement on your phones or your on digital platform, and this will eventually bring more money for the company. So this is the thing, and to end all these things, it has created a sort of laws. And India, we know that still we have to go to the court to find out whether privacy is a fundamental right or not. So these are the issues. So of course what European Union is expecting from India, at present we are not able to fulfill that, and because of that our IT industries are not able to penetrate or access this European Union. And both are also worried about China's growing assertiveness, because China is investing hugely in Eastern European countries, and the One Belt One Road as well. So, and other things include China not following international laws when it comes to South China Sea, and China is flooding international market with its cheap priced steel. So this is also a worried about, because it is snatching away jobs in both Europe and India. So these are the common things that were discussed between both the parties. Moving on to another item, this is about resources aplenty, no jobs. What it is all about, we are living in an age where we have conquered, you can say, most of the things with the help of technology. We can have access to food. A day is not far, right? It may look a bit stupid now when I'm saying this thing to you, but after a couple of years, or maybe after a couple of decades, there could be a time when we would totally get rid of eating food. There could be a few tablets that will give you all the vitamins and all the things, and these are the things. There could be a time when we would find out some solution for not sleeping and wasting 8 hours. It could be, right? The things that look impossible now could be possible in the future. At one point of time, we were thinking that who could fly in the air, but at present, you know that you can have the most luxurious services 8,000 feet above, isn't it? Or 10,000 feet above. So this is possible now, and we have been doing it with the help of technology, and we are, of course, living in the most transformative age in human history. Our ability, with the help of our ability, we have done many things, we have conquered many things, but the side effect is that we are not able to conquer that. We are not able to produce that many jobs, because at one side you have a good health. That means people are living healthy life, they are living longer, and if they are living longer, if they are living healthy life, then of course we don't need that many machines, isn't it? We need people to be a bit busy so that they can earn, they can be some bit productive in this whole ecosystem. But this is not happening because of too much use of automatic machines and robotics and things like that. And here is a figure of 5 high technology firms around the world. Their total capital is $3 trillion, but they just employ 7 lakh people, right? This is a very small number if you can understand what $3 trillion is, and we are talking about 5 companies, right? They should be in an ideal world, they should be employing more people. If you talk about textile industry, then you find that huge amount of people are employed, because you need human hands to do a bit of work. There should be a balance of technology and human hands, right? There should not be too much human hands, because we know that then efficiency and effectiveness will go away, and you should not have too much of technology that does not require any sort of human hands at all. And these things, we have discussed this thing in detail. Again, I would like to indicate or draw your attention to StudyIQ YouTube channel, on which you will find a latest video on Gandhiji's policy, in which we have talked about this thing in detail. So do check that one out as well, as per your convenience. And at present, the main challenge, right? Main challenge is to provide more and more jobs, because in future, this sort of scenario is going to create mass unemployment, and again, very few people will have huge amount of money. So this is again not a sort of equality in terms of wealth distribution, and of course in terms of society as well. And the main challenge at present is this thing, to ensure to create more jobs. And when we talk about India, we know that we are a young nation, and every year 1.5 crore people, remember this figure, 1.5 crore people every year. That means somewhere around 10 to 12 lakh people every month. They come in the labor market, they are seeking job, but are we able to find jobs for them? Not at all. And when they don't find job, it all becomes, the scenario becomes frustration, and it's all frustration that you see, and then we find all this agitation and change in government and fall of democracy and murder and other things do take place. And what we can do is, we have informal economy, right? 90% of our workforce is working in informal economy. So if we provide some sort of things, the main issues with informal economy, or the challenges they face, is that they don't have latest, or you can say they don't have modern day tools. So this can be provided to them. You can teach them best practices. We can provide them capital, formal capital, because most of the time they have to borrow money from private money lenders, and we know that the rates are quite high when we borrow it from private money lenders. So if we provide formal loans, if we provide modern tools and best practices, if we provide them a bit of skill training and things like that, then this informal sector can help absorb people. in our country, in country like India. And if we build more basic infrastructure, which is the need of the hour, then it will help boost this informal economy. It will give a kick to this informal economy, and this would overall give a kick to our economy. So this is the thing, and other programs like MG Narega can be utilized when we talk about basic infrastructure. And we also need to provide a sort of environment, right? We have to create an environment in which private investments are feeling that their confidence should be revived, and this will help a lot. So that's basically everything about editorial or edit pages. This one is talking about how it is important for the journalists to ensure that whatever news they are printing or they are publishing, they should verify the facts. Without fact, the newspapers will lose its credibility, or the news channels or any media source will lose its credibility if journalists are not ensuring the source, right, of the things they are getting. And one thing I must say here is that one of the reasons why the Hindu newspaper is having considerable reputation is because it has a mechanism of ensuring that they are on right track. You will find many a times editors are accepting their mistake, right, openly. They do apologize if there is any sort of mistake, and this has happened in this case as well. And this is one of the reasons why it is it has maintained its credibility. And in this era, when you have social media and you have WhatsApp and other things, we know that there are lots and lots of fake news that we hear or see every day. So this one is a sort of easy read, but this is the main gist of this article. Apart from that, there is nothing interesting or important for your studies. Coming to these 3 articles, it is about politics, what, how, what, etc. happened with Congress and what Rahul Gandhi should do. Something that is, this is nothing, means this item is not important for your examination at all. And here is talking about the political situation in Nepal. If it would be a sort of editorial regarding importance with India or things like that, then of course it would be. But this one is about political scenario, and this again is about revolutionary power to heal. Again, these 3 items are not important for your preparation. Now, Narendra Modi was in Gujarat, and he has talked about a blue revolution, right? Blue revolution means pertaining to marine resources. So he has talked about that his government is going to help small fishermen. Now, just like any farmer, fisherman is doing farming on ocean. That is the simple definition. And of course, if we provide them loans, if we provide them mechanized boats, if we promote these 2 things, then we will find that they would be reaping the benefits of this technology or this little bit of push. And by doing this and providing them cold storage facility, we will create a whole supply chain, right? So whole supply chain will be formalized, and this will bring more money for these fishermen, and which is important for job creation. And there are other industries as well, pharmaceutical industry, everything will get a kick once fishermen are looked after very well. Then he has talked about neem coated urea. You know the benefits that it provides nitrogen. This neem coated urea provides nitrogen. It fixes the nitrogen and it keeps diseases away from the plants. And by neem coating it, the middleman who used to do corruption, the normal urea used to be sold to this chemical industries, but now they cannot do anything with this neem coated urea. He has also launched a project of potable water, and he has also launched Antyodaya Express. But important thing is intensified mission Indradhanush, right? Indradhanush mission is for mother and for child. So keep this thing in mind. And he has also talked about that the previous government was not looking after medical sector at all. And because of that, there were no new medical colleges or medical seats were not expanded, etc., etc. But now his government is taking it very seriously. He has reduced the price of necessary healthcare items like stent. We know about stent. Government is also working on opening the chain of stores on generic medicines. Medical college seats have expanded, and so is professor training when it comes to teaching medical students. Apart from that, stubble burning is again burning issue for India, and particularly for the Delhi, because Punjab, the farmers of Punjab have started burning this crop residue. This is pertaining to paddy. The things that you can see here, this is residue here. It is of no use for the farmer. That's what they think. But if this can be used in different items, but the thing is that government should compensate them. This is something that was decided earlier on, but at present the government is not providing any sort of compensation to them, and that is the reason why they are burning it, because they have to prepare their field for the rabi season. This is the harvest. The paddy harvesting is pertaining to Kharif season, and then the winter will bring rabi season. So they have to prepare their land, and NGT is also worried about this thing. It has clearly stated last year as well that state government should provide all necessary facility to the farmers so that this sort of pollution does not take place. 16 balsam species are found in 5 years. Now, it is basically this on your screen. You can see they are flowers here, right? You don't have to go into technical details of these things. If you are from science background, or if you are from botany background, then of course you would be knowing more about these things. But for general studies students, right, all you have to know is that these species were found in Arunachal Pradesh, right? That's everything that you need to know, because the questions that you find, this sort of questions in your prelims examination, and they ask you, where do you find this balsam? New species were discovered in which part of India? It could be northeast, they could ask you southeast, or things like that. Or they may ask you some states, and they will give you a list of states like Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and things like that. So you should be crystal clear that they are found in this Arunachal Pradesh, and the important thing about them is that they are endemic. That means you find them only in particular region, and they are in a very small habitat region. So this is one of the reasons why they are threatened. Other thing is simultaneous polls. Election Commission has said that yes, it is something that we can do, but before that we have to make necessary changes in the Constitution and Representation of People Act. Two important points for your mains examination, right? This question could be asked. It is not something that we will see this thing happening in 1 year or 2 years. It may take a little bit of time, but you should know everything about this particular thing, because this is going to be the future of our country. It used to be the past practice, but it is going to be the future, because we spend huge amount of money and time and energy, and there are merits and demerits of a simultaneous poll, but eventually we have to sort this thing out, because if you on average 1 whole year in every 5 years is spent after election. Every different state will have election, then you have this Lok Sabha election. So this, in fact, you can say that for the 1 whole year India is going through elections. So this is a big waste of time because of model code of conduct. And China is talking about the treaty that it took place between China and UK in 1890. It is about the Nathula and Doklam area, and it came out with this statement because yesterday, you know, that we talked about how our defense minister, she was in this area. She took an aerial survey. So China was a bit worried about this thing, and it has issued a statement. India has clearly stated that we are not at all a weak country, we are a strong country, and Home Minister has also warned Pakistan regarding its nefarious design of terrorism and things like that. And yes, again, this one is in news. The defense minister, she is in the northern part, she is in the northeastern part, like here in Sikkim, and she is reviewing the security situation, and that's a formal procedure through which she is going. Apart from that, 3 questions for you. Please help yourself with it, and don't forget to download this PDF file. Do subscribe, share, like, pass your valuable comment. I'll see you all soon. Till then, enjoy your studies. Jai Hind.